Hey guys, Luantha here, aka Lance at 634, and we've got TFT Patch 922 here. Changing things up a little bit. We're going to try to speed up some videos, so I'm reviewing these patch notes beforehand to bring up some talking points, trying to get this in and done under 10 minutes so it's a little bit faster for you. Still not really following PvE. I get some things on Twitter here and there, so I'm aware of a couple things to see. But now that we're gonna look through things beforehand, it's gonna be fine, and we'll get through these a lot faster, hopefully. So the big thing with TFT is the new Rise of the Elements comes out tomorrow. There's elemental hexes, new champions, origins, classes. I'm not going to go into all of that. This is specifically just this patch that I want to talk about. There's a ton. It's basically a whole new game. So if you've been sick of TFT or you wanted to try it out, now's the time to do it because everyone's going to be learning. General game changes. The board size is getting an extra row. If you guys knew it was 3 rows, it's going to be 4 now, so it's extra deep. Helps with the assassin jumping. It basically is impossible to cluster now and protect a carry, which helps with building comps and stuff like that. Player damage is lowered early on and buffed later on, and it's just a flat scaling there. And that was one of their goals with the last patch, actually, on the previous TFT, was they were having issues with player damage, and they were adjusting it, so they adjusted it again. Summoned units don't deal player damage by themselves, but count as if their summoner was alive if at least one of them survives the round. Okay, so it counts as a summoner, and that's it. Each of the little spiderlings no longer grief you to just ruin your day. Level up champion drops per tier, so they've got 15, 20, 35, 22, 8. Goes 15, 20, 35, 24, 6. So taking away a little bit of that 5-star power, putting it into 4. When you pick up a champ from the carousel, you no longer collide, so you can no longer body block your opponents. You still be annoying by getting in their way visually, but you will no longer incur you'll no longer be a size unit on there that bounces people. So that's a cool change. Ranked changes. Ranked will be off this patch and will return next patch. That's a big thing because next patch will be 923, so there won't be any ranked. A big thing I saw Mort say was placing 4th or better is never going to deduct LP. So if your MMR is your rank is high and you're playing in a really low rank game, getting 4th means you're never going to lose LP. You'll get 0, which it's lose. So you'll still get 0 for 4th, and you can get 0 out of 30 then. Just it depends on what your rank is compared to the lobby. They're changing up how many of each ranks they can have. Doesn't really matter for most of us because we're not that good. Champion pool changes. So they're shrinking the champion pools in tiers 1 through 4 in order to punish multiple comps running the same units. This is a really big deal because it's going to put an emphasis on scouting and on thinking on your feet, because everyone can't just go run the same comp and whoever gets better items wins. You lose 10 tier 1 units. That's a tier 3 right there. That's a 3-star unit. But note, these pools hit everything, so there's still 29 tier 1 units. There can be 3 people with a 3-star tier 1 unit. But as you get to tier 4 or tier 3, it's going to be a lot harder to get those 3-star units that you're searching for. The good news is it impacts every unit, so overall the pools are smaller, so there's a higher technical percentage pulling if no one else has your unit. So if you have a bunch of units out of the pool, it's going to increase that percentage a lot faster. So there's going to be there's a lot of nitty-gritty math in there that we can go over. But all in all, really cool change. It's going to shift the game a little bit more into thinking and reacting than just playing what's OP, hopefully. Mana regen. This is another big change they talked about and they implemented here. 1-star champions now getting a set amount of mana per attack, and it's based off of what star they are. So 1-stars are 8 mana, 2-stars get 10 mana, 3-stars get 10 mana, and that's buffed to 12 now. So No longer is it going to be different. It's a set. This is how much mana you're going to get. This is what you can expect. You can math it out exactly to how much mana you're getting. Big thing is mana generated from taking damage is reduced. So that is if like for the knight comp that used to be run, which I'm not sure is even in this anymore. If you ran that, you get a lot of mana from taking damage because each hit counts as a certain amount of mana, but it's going to be reduced by about 15%. There's no exact numbers on that because they've never released exact numbers on taking damage for mana. But at least now you can see the exact, hey, 1-star units are going to give you 8 mana per attack. It's not 6 or 10 or 9 or 7. It's going to be 8. Here's the item changes they're putting up. So we'll go over these just because these are kind of a bigger, they're a big deal. I mean, the champions themselves and the traits are a huge deal. I'm just not going to do a video on that though. There's a ton of new changes, basically everything. Hello Blitz. But basically there's like light now, light, whatever is light has, so light is always on Lux, and whatever trait she has also is counted double. So she's like a 2 unit. She's also very strong, does a ton of damage. Very, very, very good unit. It's also a 7 cost. Lux is really weird. But there's poison that makes it so champions don't gang mana as fast. There's ocean that gives you mana faster. There's cloud. There's all sorts of units. It's going to be really crazy. And part of why we're not going into it is it'd be a whole nother video. And I mean, maybe I'll do another video later, but at this time, you all aren't watching this to know what the units are. You're knowing what the patch is. So stat changes. So obviously they got some recipes that are different now. Negatron recurve is Rune's Hurricane. They got rid of Curse Blade because it was genuinely unfun to play and impossible to balance to where people enjoyed it. So they removed it. Spatula Large Rod is Inferno Cinder, so that gives you Inferno as one of the traits. That'll give you Inferno. Spatula Tear of the Goddess is Mage's Cap. Mage is its own class. It basically replaces Sork, I believe. Spatula Chain Vest is Warden's Mail. Spatula Negatron is Talisman of Light. Spatula Spartan Gloves is Berserker's Axe. So those are all the different spatula items for recipe changes, and that's entirely because of traits changing, which is cool how they just completely changed what it's called, so you don't have to worry about what's Knight's Vow. It changed. No, Knight's Vow is Knights, and it's not in the game anymore, so you don't have to worry about that. Some stat changes, they did do these items. Spatula items no longer give double stats. It was too strong, so Spatula will now give the normal stat, but it's not going to double it. Chain Vest is getting 5 more armor, and that also goes to Negatron. Negatron's 5 more magic resist, so the buff to the general tier 1 defensive items. Death Cap's getting 25% more AP. Dragon's Claw is losing 25% magic reduction. This murders Dragon's Claw. If you really can, you want to avoid building this item. It's really bad now. Giant Slayer is no longer true damage, but it's 8% current health. So if they have high health, it'll shred them. If they're lower health, it's not going to do as much. Overall, I believe it's a net 0, but it's better early in a fight. It's less good late in the fight. Guardian Angel is only 400 on revive, so it's down 100. Hand of Justice is getting 10% more damage and 10 more life on hit. Ionic Spark's true damage is down 25 to 100 flat. Luden's Echo loses 30 damage on the splash, and it goes off once per cast only, which is good. I believe there's some instances where it would go off multiple times or not enough times. I don't know, but it's supposed to be more clear on that regard. We already went over Negatron. Recurve Bow got a nerf in this patch, minus 5% attack speed, so attack speed's hard to come by. I wouldn't be surprised to see this get reverted because Rangers are not doing so hot right now, because Rangers are back, surprise, surprise. And they're not one of the better comps so far currently, what I've seen Mort talk about on Twitter. So this could be a change. Rune's Hurricane bonus damage lost 15%, and that's because it's easier to build now. It's just Negatron with a recurve, so easier to come by the components. It gets weakened. If you have multiple copies of Rune's now, it shoots an extra bolt. It used to not do anything. Thieves Gloves, if you're level 8 and 9, it's going to give you better items, which is huge. Thieves Gloves has been a really good, um, you know, early mid game because it just give you items, but now it's going to be a little bit better late also. Some item system changes. They're dropping the gold value of uncommon and gold orbs. Spatula drop rates are going down. They reduce the chance of getting combined items slightly because no one really wants to get a combined item dropped in your lap. That doesn't work on decision making and like doesn't impact the ranking system. Like, is this a factor of him being good, or did he just luck into an awesome combined item? Well, that should be reduced a little bit. Dragons are now going to drop 2 common orbs in addition to their carried item. So they're going to drop 2 common orbs, which should drop some gold. It'll probably be anywhere from 2 to 6, well, probably 2 to 8 gold that you'll get from your dragon, which is pretty cool. I'm wondering if it's going to be based off of your rank in the tier, but I doubt it. It's probably just all RNG. Elder Dragon and Rift Herald are going to drop common and an uncommon orb when they die on top of the carry item. So you're getting more items from these spawns, which is also why everything's reduced slightly, is to keep the smooth curve that's already been established there. Trait UI tips, they're all going to be there. They've really changed the UI of the screen. If you haven't taken a look at that, they changed how the top previous fights works. They've changed things happening on the right. Overall, it feels like a new game because it kind of is, and it's coming out of this testing beta phase into its actual, here's our first official season. It's called Rise of the Elements. Have at it. So that's kind of where they're going with it. They've got Freljord Arena skins coming out, and those are going to be for RP, I believe. That's going to be the first RP Arena skins. And they've got a ton of future boards and stuff coming out. And they're doing a couple bug fixes, but whatever on that department. Just a couple other things about the pass. I've seen it on Twitter that the pass is going to have 2 eggs now, and it's going to have missions that are more geared towards multiple games than one game getting lucky and doing it or forcing it down your throat to make you do it. They're looking to do a lot more arena skins. Obviously, they're going to be looking for more little legends, and they're still working on beta pass ranked season rewards. There's something else in the works that we haven't seen yet. You're going to get your emote, obviously, of the Pengu with whatever rank you were crown on his head, but he's going to. There's something else in the works that they haven't released yet that they haven't told us about. But that's everything for TFT 922. It'll be interesting to see how this shakes out. It's going to be normals only for 2 weeks. So if you're looking for a ranked itch, sorry, but you'll have to go play regular Rift because that's in the last 2 weeks of its regular season. But let me guys know what you guys think. We'll be doing these patch notes the entire time that we can get them. It'll be interesting to see if they change the patch notes numbers for TFT. Because they don't really line up with Rift, and I don't expect them really to line up with Rift. But I don't think they'll change that because then you'll just get confused. Because if this was 10.1, then when they go 10.1 for Rift, you're going to be so confused. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And thanks for watching.